Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from PhoneBunch, and yes, I know we have been a bit late with our videos lately, but from now on they are going to be a bit fast, starting with the InFocus M370, which has been pending for a little bit of time. So this one comes with a Snapdragon 210 quad-core processor. You have a 5-inch 720p display and 4G connectivity with 1GB of RAM, 8GB of internal storage, and a unique design. So how does this smartphone fare? Let's have a look. Coming to the build of the device, on the right you have the power lock and unlock button, which is actually quite mushy, and you can see this sort of dual tone design, white and black. I do like this sort of stormtrooper like look, but the build quality is really nothing to write home about. You have your 3.5 audio jack, primary microphone and micro USB port at the bottom. Moving to the back, you have 8 megapixel camera, secondary noise cancellation, mic LED flash, and you can see this unique sort of pattern at the back. Bits and bytes sort of a design. It does look quite nice and it is quite rugged as well. The back cover in itself is actually quite flimsy. It bends quite easily. Coming to the inside, you have a 20 to 30 milliamp hour removable battery. You have that 4G SIM card slot right there. It's a micro SIM card slot. And the second slot is actually a hybrid slot, so it can either take a micro SD card or a nano SIM card. The build is just about alright. It isn't a very heavy smartphone, but it really isn't that reassuring either. Coming to the front, you have a 2 megapixel fixed focus camera, proximity and light sensors along with the main earpiece. And if we come to the bottom of the display, you'll see that you have on-screen buttons, InFocus branding. Now the chin on this device is actually pretty large, and you can see that here as well. The display itself is decent. The color reproduction is really not that accurate. The viewing angles are just about alright again. There is quite a bit of brightness shifting, colors also shift a little bit. Moreover, this display is quite glossy, does attract fingerprints very easily, and really is not that visible outdoors. But that's not all. The performance on this device is actually quite poor. Apps crash a lot of the times, and you can see how slow it is in closing all apps. That goes to show the performance of the Snapdragon 210 is really not that good. Apps take quite a long time to load, and you can see even the dialer takes quite a long time to actually dial a number. You can see that here. Such a long time. Quite a lot of delay in various operations through the apps. Call quality was just about decent. Yes, the noise cancellation does work, and the phone was able to retain network most of the time. But yes, network reception is really not that good over here. You do have automatic call recording built in. Wi-Fi, USB as well as Bluetooth tethering did work out quite fine, as did GPS most of the times. Now coming to the cameras, again this is quite a letdown. The rear camera takes quite a long time to focus in as well as save images, actually seconds to do that, and most of the times you do end up getting blurry images. There are quite a lot of settings which you can customize. You have your ISO settings, you can control exposure levels as well. You have white balance control, some scene modes too. The front facing camera again is nothing to write home about. It's just about decent. The Redmi 2 and the Redmi 2 Prime have far better cameras available within the same price bracket of about Rs 6,000. You can see blurry shots. Most of the time you would actually get blurry shots because the camera takes quite a long time to focus in. Not much details there either. Even outdoors where there's plenty of light, the camera doesn't capture that good a detail, and there is a bit of noise in all of these images that we have captured. The rear camera has very poor dynamic range. Colors get muddled very easily. Distant shots do look quite good, but again there is not much detail, and you can see again out of focus shots if you try to focus in on something close. Exposure control is again an issue with this smartphone. So overall, be it the front or the rear camera, none are really that decent. They are just about average, with the Redmi 2 Prime taking the cake here. Moreover, the rear camera is really not that color accurate. And then there's video recording, which is by far the worst I have seen in this price bracket. It's really poor, very grainy, and it's at a very low bitrate and frame rate of just about 20 FPS. So it seems very choppy as well. Overall, very poor camera performance on the InFocus M370. The speakerphone, however, is a bit decent. That's a saving grace. Music quality is decent over the speakerphone, but again, through the earpiece, it doesn't really sound that good. The speakerphone does get muffled very easily as well. FM radio is supported and it's able to find channels quickly most of the time. And you do have FM recording available here as well. Coming to video playback, this phone can play 1080p videos, but I've seen those stutter. And if you switch over to YouTube, you can play 720p videos. These do, however, play quite fine. Now coming to software, there is quite a lot of customization baked in, but there are lots and lots of apps that have come pre-installed, which is not that great for a device that comes with 8 gigs of internal storage. Moreover, the customization does add a bit of bloat to the device, which takes up some amount of RAM as well. Here are your notification quick toggles. This phone is actually running Android 5.1.1 Lollipop right out of the box. That's something good to see, but I just wish that the performance was actually far better than what we have seen already. Now out of that 8 gig of internal storage, you have about 4 gigs available over here. You can add a micro SD card, but you would have to sacrifice a second SIM card slot. USB OTG furthermore is not supported over here, and app data is not movable to the external SD card. So you're left with that amount of storage only. And the UI does need a little bit of work as well. You can see some things just get hidden. The text is not really that visible there. RAM management is pretty decent, but then again, performance is really not that good. You can see while web browsing, pages just completely disappear while you are browsing, and it takes quite a lot of time to load images as well. Pinch to zoom is actually quite choppy here as well. Now, if we check multitasking, let me just load up a few apps and we will see how long it takes to actually load them. Let's just go to YouTube and you're just stuck there for a few seconds while you wait for the app to load. So performance is really poor on this device. RAM management, however, is a bit decent. Now coming to gaming, we played Asphalt 8 in high settings and you can see it is actually quite choppy. Even Subway Surfers and Temple Run did lag somewhat. But at medium settings, you can see that Asphalt 8 did play quite decently. But then again, gaming experience is really not that good over here. Now you do have a power saver mode which you can customize. Now battery life is quite decent. You will get through 1 day of usage with moderate use. Well folks, that was a full review of the InFocus M370. Now this one is priced at 6,000 rupees. And this price, I would say you should definitely give this a miss. There are far better smartphones, yes, with 4G connectivity available within this price bracket. The Xiaomi Redmi 2 or for 1000 rupees more, the Xiaomi Redmi 2 Prime are very good options. Even the U Euphoria and the U Unique are far better options than the InFocus M370. The InFocus M370 just doesn't perform well. Then there's a hybrid SIM card slot. It just doesn't add up. You should simply stay clear of this and go for one of the options I mentioned earlier. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, let us in the comment section, and as always, have a great day.